You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
And this video has been brought to you by racism. Racism is accepted wherever true Americans are.
Perfect.
Woman with a gun, screaming racial slurs while he was at a gas station simply to buy a soda. His family is now asking why the woman was able to get out of jail in just 61 minutes. Arrested 3 days later, but now charged with aggravated assault.
Office incident report for this says a witness saw and heard everything.
I heard a lady yelling, and I didn't know who she was, or I never seen her in my life.
That happened in this Circle K parking lot last Sunday. Alvin Ricks, just 15.
She called me the N-word and the gun pointing at me, telling me she had killed me.
McGowan was booked into the Wheeler County Jail. She is facing 2 felony charges, one for terroristic threats and the other for aggravated assault. McGowan at the store's door. This incident report says in clips from the store's camera, you can hear McGowan ask someone in the store if they knew Alvin and his friend. It also says you can hear McGowan say in the recording, quote, "I'm going to shoot them," expletives. Alvin and his friend never interacted with McGowan before she confronted them in her car outside. But her attorney says Alvin and his friends tried to intimidate Jamie McGowan, harassing her, adding they are not the innocents they would have everyone believe. The county's chief deputy, who wrote this report, has resigned as Alvin's family wonders how this is not a hate crime.
So I want to hit this part real quick, right? Pay very close attention, right? And this is from the lawyer again. The statements that the 3 young men and their families have made to the press and on social media have not contained the whole truth. They want everyone to believe that they have been wronged, but they haven't been. They have not told the whole story of what occurred at the Circle K in Glenwood, Georgia on May 7th. They have not told how they tried to intimidate Jamie McGowan and make her afraid. They have not told how they intentionally harassed her. They are not the innocents that they would have everyone believe. And as for Miss McGowan, she did nothing wrong, certainly nothing illegal. She will tell her story to the court and only the court if and when it is necessary. So let's just remember that this sounds kind of familiar, right? I can't put my finger on why this sounds so familiar. The white tears, the Karen stating that she felt threatened and that she was, going to potentially do something, and that the other party was purely the aggressor and she felt the need that she was going to have to defend herself. And then magically out of nowhere, a lawyer gets hired out of the blue and states that no, the ones completely in the video are fabricating the story, and they are the ones that were actually the aggressor, and my client is completely innocent. And soon enough, you guys will see and hear all of the evidence. And the only time my client is going to speak is when it deals with a court, if and when that needs to be done. That's ridiculous. You're going to make a statement stating that your client is innocent, but yet you have no proof. But yet there's proof that she was at the gas station, she walked in the gas station, and that a conversation was had. And then there was an eyewitness who also stated the words that your client said directly to that young man. But you want to turn around and try to flip the narrative as if he is the cause, as if he is the problem. I find it hugely hilarious that whenever it ends up being a young teen, a young black teen, lawyers are automatically hired. They are automatically on the scene and they know exactly and specifically what happened. But when you have these Karens that decide to do these things and they're caught on film and their counterpart is a Caucasian male, magically, where are these lawyers? Where is the narrative to be flipped? Where's the lawyer to state that their client is innocent, irregardless of whatever it is that an eyewitness seen or heard, or whatever is captured on camera? Where is that? Isn't it funny nobody ever questioned why it is that Karens always happen to hire lawyers when it's black men or young black teens? They hurry up and hire lawyers real quick. Nobody finds that suspicious. Nobody finds that suspicious. I do. I do. And like I said, the funniest thing is when you happen to look her name up, you're not going to see the story. Her name does not populate, right? Or if it does, you might see a few lines directly up there. But other than that, usually when it comes to these stories, you will see story after story after story after story after story, news source after news source after news source after news source. You'll see all of that. But magically with her, you don't see that. Isn't that a little bit suspicious? And then when I checked on Twitter, specifically dealing with the news source that I got this from, their Twitter really was not populated. It wasn't really moving, and I found that highly suspicious. Highly suspicious. So where are all of the people to be directly on the Karen side and state that she was 100% in the right and there are two sides to the story? I bet they did do with like where are all these people at? Where are all of these people at? Like I said, it's very suspicious how this takes place, how this is happening. And it's amazing how he's stating that his client is innocent, even though the young boy, the teen, stated exactly what he heard and how threats were being made. And then on top of that, the eyewitness stated the exact same thing. And then they stated that and this is the main part. This is how I know that she doesn't have a case. The chief or the sheriff, whoever was the officer who specifically filled out the form, he resigned. He resigned the same day. The same day or the next day. I've never seen that before in my life. So you mean to tell me that you're going to put all of these charges on this woman, then you're going to let her bail out? She was only held for 61 minutes, and then the person that basically put her in that jail or whatever it is resigned? Huh? Excuse me? That seems real suspicious. And you mean to tell me that this lawyer really thinks that he got a case? I have never in my lifetime seen a cop resign after he basically did something. That's crazy. That's crazy. This woman must have some type of pull directly out there in that small town. I think they said that town only got like 1,000 or like 1,400 people in there. So it's a very, very small town. It's almost like Nowheresville. So I understand how it is that she felt emboldened that she was going to do something, and she was able to say the things that she was able to say because she's in that small town where everybody knows everybody, where everybody knows your name, dun 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 dun, and we always got your game, dun dun dun. Yeah, it's like that type of thing. It's literally that type of thing right there. But again, I want everybody to remember people said in America things like this don't happen. It's fictitious. It doesn't exist. We're all one people. Color doesn't matter. They don't see color. So what was this? So what you're going to try to, chalk this up to just an ignorant person being ignorant, and then you're going to decide to say that, oh, I have black friends, and I got people in my family that are black. I went to school with black people. Every time I go to the market, I see a black person there. Matter of fact, they're my bagger. They're the cashier. They're the one that get the shopping carts. They're the help. Let me tell you something. Ooh, boy, let me tell you something. Y'all don't make y'all case any better when y'all say that y'all know that one black person. It don't matter if it's a family, a friend, a coworker, Darren, the mailman, Stefan, the UPS guy. It doesn't matter. It makes it a lot worse. Y'all better off basically stating that you don't know anybody black. You're better off just omitting that. Not putting it in any type of statement. That's the best result. Because then we're going to start looking at you sideways. It's like, some black people, I bet all of y'all know a black person, right? It's the exact same black person, right? It's a brother. It's a brother. And then we're gonna start going through the names. Like I said, you know, it is what it is. But the main thing that I'm happy about is that the young man is alive. He's well. He's breathing. Him and his friends. Because this could have been a situation that would have been vastly differently, and this would have been something that would have been all over the news. She would have hurried up and hired that lawyer, and it would have been literally their word, and that's it. There would have been no witnesses. There would have been nobody to give an interview on their side. So, you know, like I said, for black people, y'all got to start teaching y'all kids out here, regardless on how it is that you feel or who it is that is in your family. Y'all got to make sure y'all start teaching y'all kids, you know, about these people that's directly out here, because they do not mean them well. And that's just being honest.